It's that time to get fresh with Mike. This is a weekly segment that we are doing here, and this morning we're featuring apples.
That's right. Today's seasonal produce
Yep.
are apples, which are pretty fresh all throughout Washington State. A lot of apples do come from the Pacific Northwest, so there's a photo of them there. And the best part is that there's tons of different varieties of apples, and I just got a few here to bring in for you. And the best part is that apple recipes are so incredibly easy, or at least they're very easy to cook with. Some of them, at least. Our featured recipe today, actually, is how to make applesauce right out of a crock pot. So very simple for you. Crock pots are absolutely wonderful. Now this recipe is from Jackie Winston. What you need is about 10 large apples, and you can pick any variety that you'd like. Peeled, cored, sliced, and cut into chunks. A little bit of water, a teaspoon of cinnamon, and half cup to a full cup of sugar. Put it in a crock pot, cook it on low for 8 to 10 hours. Best part is you could set it up in the morning, go to work, come back later, and you got fresh applesauce that will keep for at least about a week or two.
Oh, really? Just keep it in your refrigerator then? What kind of apples? Did she say what are the better apples to use
Kevin,
for apples?
There's some apples that are good for cooking and some that are not good for cooking. Like the Granny Smith apple. Much better for cooking due to the fact that it's tart and you can reduce that flavor.
Well, they store well. They'll harvest these around the the middle of November, just until as long as the weather doesn't freeze up. Then you can keep that in your pantry for months. Yeah.
Now this apple, I'd never seen this before. This is a Sonia apple, and this has only been cultivated for about 10 years out of New Zealand. It's actually a cross between a Red Delicious and a Gala apple, and it's actually quite fantastic. Tastes a lot like the Honey Crisp, and this is one from Mount Rainier, and it's just, look at the apples. I mean, it's all the same fruit, but they all look so incredibly different.
Oh, certainly, yeah.
All the varieties are just absolutely perfect for different things. Like we have this orchard apple here, picked by one of our directors, Jay, on his trip to Missoula, and this is just...
You call it an orchard apple?
Yes. Whereas these are from the supermarket.
Oh, okay, yeah. I was going to say this could be, could be a crab apple. Which are actually can be very delicious. Yeah.
Yes, but you can do a lot with all of them. Some are better for snacking and cutting into slices than using in a recipe. And another awesome recipe that you can use, you can make apple cider out of any of your favorite apples. You need about 36 apples though for like 1 gallon of apple cider.
Wow.
Yeah. And just a food processor, cut it up and core it, throw it in there. If you want to make hard apple cider, you can mix in a little bit of rum and brown sugar, if that's your fancy. Otherwise, fresh apple cider will store in the refrigerator for at least 7 days. Otherwise, you should pasteurize and heat it so that way it'll
last. Then you get into the whole canning procedure at that point.
Exactly. At that point, it'll last 2 to 3 weeks. But apples certainly a very versatile and fresh seasonal item. So get out there while they're being harvested. They're delicious. Absolutely delicious.
Yeah, no shortage of apples right now.
No, sir.